You're locked in to the hottest station on the planet.
Resistance is futile. The revolution has begun.
You're listening to Rebelpreneur Radio, helping you break the rules and build the business you need for the life you want. And now, broadcasting his pirate signal
from somewhere beyond the status quo,
here's your host, best-selling author, marketing and media strategist, Ralph Brogden.
Hello and welcome to Rebelpreneur Radio, the show that helps you build the business you need so you can live the life you want. I'm Ralph Brogden. You know, you probably don't want to give a lot of thought to the admin and the legal and the business side of things, but it's really important. And if you don't handle those things, it can really come back and sabotage your business. That's not good. And so we need to turn to professionals who can protect us and give us the legal protections and the business and corporation filings and this kinds of things that you don't really think about until it's too late for you to do anything about it. So we wanted to bring in an expert who could give some advice to entrepreneurs, rebelpreneurs, solopreneurs, small business owners on where they can go to get these very important business and corporate filings. I'm speaking today with Nellie Akalp. She is a passionate entrepreneur, a mother of four, and the founder and CEO of CorpNet.com. It's a trusted resource for business and corporation, LLC filings, and corporate compliance services in all 50 states. Nellie and her team recently launched a partner program for tax and finance professionals to help them streamline the business and corporation and compliance process for their clients. So, here to tell us more about that, Nellie Akalp, welcome to Rebelpreneur Radio.
Thank you, Ralph. Thank you for having me.
It's a real pleasure to have you on the show, and I want to find out all about what we need to be doing, what we should be thinking about when we are giving consideration to setting up the paperwork for running our business. But first, give us a little bit about your background. What's your story, and how did you get interested in this particular aspect of business?
Simply stated, I've been an entrepreneur most of my life, right out of law school. When I graduated law school, my husband and I were scrambling to figure out what we're going to do for our life and for our careers, and frankly, how we're going to pay off those student loans. And we realized that the entry-level salary for what a entry-level lawyer would earn was not going to suffice and really support the lifestyle that we were envisioning for each other. And he was at the time in a corporations class, and the idea of incorporating online seemed to be a really, really hot topic. And with the outburst of the internet and the birth of the internet back then in 1997, the market seemed ripe and the entry was really easy, and we decided to put up a one-page website and launch our first business off the ground. And fast forward to 2005, we grew that business to where it was earning and making about $1 million in gross sales, and we were approached by a publicly traded company and decided to sell our then company to the company that wanted to purchase it. Took some time off, and 3 years later, we decided that we were too young, too passionate, and frankly, too bored to take on an early retirement. So we decided to come back and re-enter the market with the same type of business, a little bit of a different model. And that's when our current company, CorpNet.com, was born in 2009. And we've been in business for almost 10 years now. We're going to be celebrating our 10th year anniversary this year in July. And simply stated, CorpNet provides the most comprehensive, cost-effective services to any entrepreneur or business professional, whether they're a CPA, accountant, a small business startup, a lawyer. We have, a business model that caters to both consumers and also professionals representing clients who need assistance with any aspect of the business startup process or the business compliance process, consisting of incorporating a business, starting a business, setting up a DBA, forming an LLC, foreign qualifying in multiple states, obtaining payroll tax registrations and all the required licenses and permits a business needs, and anything that has to do with keeping a business in compliance as it relates to an existing business entity. And we provide the services in all 50 states. And we love what we do, and we're very passionate about it. And what really sets us apart from most of the competition out there is really our personable approach, in addition to our really no hiding the fees and kind of upfront fees and pricing when it comes to dealing with our clients.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like such a valuable service because, like I said in the intro, it's not something that a lot of entrepreneurs think about. They think, well, I've just got a website, I sell a few things, and what can go wrong? There's actually a lot that can go wrong if you're not in compliance, right?
That is absolutely correct. And also, in light of how easy and how seamless and cost-effective the incorporating process has become, in my opinion, any entrepreneur, any startup should definitely consider incorporating their business as a first step in launching their business entity. Not to mention, in light of all the tax cuts that have come, because of the Trump tax plan, nowadays, more and more entrepreneurs should definitely consider becoming a corporation because of the benefits of the tax reduction they get as a business owner and all the different deductions and tax savings they can get by becoming a corporation.
Well, that sounds really intriguing. And it's good to know that there's a resource out there to help people kind of figure this out and not leave it up to them. And I remember back in the day, you talked about how the internet really changed your business and made it viable to actually do this on a large scale. I remember back in the day, they had classes at community college, how to start a business. And, you had to go through all of these steps just to figure it out. And you've got a whole process in place now that you can actually handle all of this through CorpNet, right there off of your website, everything that somebody needs.
Correct. And we actually not only can offer all the services, but we can also provide guidance to any entrepreneur who has questions, who really doesn't know where to start and who doesn't know what type of business structure they need to set up for their business entity. We have tons of tools and resources and guidance to get them to where they need to go. That's
really useful to know. So let me throw a hypothetical out there to you, because a lot of the people that I work with and talk to and interview, and a lot of listeners are in the coaching or consulting space. And they're probably, many of them, solopreneurs working from home and providing some type of service in exchange for a fee. Is that typical of the types of clients that you advise? And what is the, I guess it's hard to say what is the best because that all depends, but what would be a real popular or attractive type of business setup for a coach or a consultant working from home?
So in answer to your first question, business coaches, consultants are one of our ideal types of clients and markets that we target because, again, these are people who are day in and day out dealing with entrepreneurs and startups. And typically, what we do in assisting them is guiding them through the process of assisting their clients with the business setup aspect of starting the business, whether it's to incorporate the business, set up an LLC, or if the client has an existing business entity and wants to expand their business, we can assist them with that. Typically, there are two ways we can deal with this type of situation is really it depends on the business consultant or coach and how they want to integrate us with their clients. Some of them really want to deal with the client and just be the main point of contact with their clients. So in that sense, we become the back-end fulfillment provider, and the business coach or the consultant would really become the reseller of our products and services. And they would sell our services under their own name, their own brand, and their clients would never know that they would deal with us. And then the other option would be that we would become a trusted resource to that business consultant or coach. And they now know that they have a trusted resource that they can count on in referring their clients to whenever their clients need to set up a corporation or an LLC in any of the 50 states. And this is where our partner program comes into place, where you mentioned it briefly when you were introducing me. And this is, part of the reason, our partner program is so popular is that it allows different types of professionals who represent clients to utilize our program and become a partner of CorpNet and either resell our products and services to their clients under their own name brand, or have a trusted resource where they can refer their clients to and know and be confident in that their clients will receive white glove treatment as a referral partner of CorpNet. And in both instances, it's a win-win because, our client being the business advisor, business consultant, business coach enhances their advisory services by now really having resources at their fingertips that they can recommend to their clients. And it's a win-win for us because we get to deal with these types of consultants and business coaches and grow our relationship with them.
Yeah, very powerful and very synergistic there. The ability to partner with you and to either refer people as a trusted advisor or to basically be the back end for these tax and finance professionals. Now, you mentioned that you offer these services in all 50 states, and our show goes out, of course, on the internet and in many different countries. If someone is in a different country and they want to do business in the United States, offer a service or a product, do they need all these forms and compliance? Is that something that they should be thinking about as well if they're listening overseas?
Absolutely. And in fact, we have a ton of people that live outside of the country, and typically most of them want to become Amazon sellers or resellers, or they want to do business within the U.S. And absolutely, we can offer the services to anybody outside of the U.S. who wants to set up a business within the U.S. And again, we have business consultants here standing by to assist with any and all of their inquiries and can assist them with all of their business filings needs.
Wow, that's pretty powerful because I would imagine people overseas, they're trying to figure this out and like, well, who do I even talk to? And some of the information on the internet is probably, this is not an area that someone should just take the self-help approach and just figure it out. They really need to get in touch with you guys, don't they?
Correct. And really the main reason why is because the self-help approach, the do-it-yourself approach is available. And that's an option whereby we are very transparent about it because filling out forms and, filing it with the Secretary of State's office is something that a business owner can do on their own to bring the corporation or LLC into existence in any of the 50 states. However, typically what we find is that when clients try to do it themselves, they oftentimes get stuck in a process or two because whether the file gets rejected or they don't know which form to use or they don't check the name properly. And at the end of the day, they turn to us and have us fix the problem. So our services are really, really geared towards saving the entrepreneur time, money, and really we know what we're doing so that you as the entrepreneur can focus on what you do best, which is starting and growing your business.
Yeah. And it's definitely not trying to navigate the maze of forms and paperwork and different things that different states require and things that are required at the federal level. You've already been there, done that, figured it out, and you offer a path for people who really would be better off just focusing on their business and not trying to figure out which forms to file. So you basically take care of all of that on their behalf.
We take care of everything and anything when it comes to starting a business, starting with the first step all the way through the end. And also once the business is established, we take care of keeping track of the business, of all the mandatory state filings that are associated with the business and sending alerts to the client so that they're up to date with it, so that the business remains in compliance and in good standing throughout the lifetime of the business.
Yeah, very important. I got a card in the mail the other day from the Secretary of State from the state that I'm in, and it was addressed to a previous occupant that had been here a few years ago. But it was basically saying, hey, you didn't file your annual corporate report or whatever you're supposed to file with the state for however many number of years. And so your corporation status has been suspended. And I'm like, wow, I'm glad it's not me.
Yes. And I'm so happy that you bring this up because a lot of times clients and entrepreneurs think that once the corporation or LLC is established, that their job is done. But in forming a corporation or LLC, there are a lot of responsibilities that go into it, and a lot of responsibilities are associated with making sure that you timely file your annual filings that are due for that corporation or LLC. And again, another way that we become a resource to the client is that we can handle all of these and more for the client so that they don't have to worry about it. And God forbid, if a client does go into bad standing, we also offer those services of bringing them back into good standing, whether it's reinstating the company or reestablishing the company. So we do have those measures as well. We offer those services as well. And again, those services are all offered in all 50 states.
Yeah, that sounds really, really, really powerful in terms of being able to help business owners not to have to worry about it. And, we talk about, you've mentioned the different responsibilities that you have, and there are some red tape, and there's some things that, some annual reporting requirements and sometimes some fees, maybe not big fees, but some annual fees are involved. And so, there are some responsibilities, but there are also some very big benefits that accrue to the business owner who sets up this corporate identity as a separate entity from his or her personal assets. In other words, it's a big motivation, wouldn't you say, is to protect my personal assets from being exposed in case, God forbid, something does happen in the business and the business gets into trouble. I'm not putting my personal assets at risk.
Yes, and what you're talking about really to encapsulate it is really the benefit of why would someone want to incorporate their business as a corporation or an LLC. And again, we can have really 1 hour of a conversation over the benefits of incorporating, but simply stated, one should definitely want to incorporate their business, especially if they have a ton of assets and they own a ton of assets. But even if they don't, they should still consider incorporating their business because it's all about asset protection and liability protection. And as a corporation or an LLC, because it's its own separate legal entity, the corporation or LLC, as long as it's run legally and in compliance with state requirements, God forbid, if it's sued, then they would only be able to go after the corporation's asset, and the corporation would be liable, thereby preventing the shareholders of the corporation or the members of an LLC. And they would not be able to go after any of the members or shareholders' personal assets, such as their car, their house, their savings account, anything like that.
Yeah. So it makes sense. Yes, there's some responsibilities, but there's a lot more benefits. The tagline for our show is helping you break the rules so that you can build the business you need to live the life you want. But in this case, my advice to our listeners is don't break the rules. You can break the rules in everything else. You can break the rules about customer service and innovation and break the rules in a positive way. But when it comes to filing the forms and doing the taxes and the other things on the back end, don't break the rules. Either get this handled or reach out to CorpNet and get them to assist you in this area so that you are in compliance. You don't have to worry and you can just focus on what you do best. Nellie, how do our listeners reach out and find out more about you and your services?
We are on the internet, so we are a live website. You can always check out our website at www.corpnet.com. Our offices are open Monday through Fridays from 7 a.m. until 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We have live operators standing by who are business filings experts that can assist you with any and all of your business inquiries. You can simply pick up the phone and dial 1-888-449-2638. And we have people picking up the phone. You won't get an automated recording. Or simply, if you have any questions, you can always email us to info@corpnet.com. For those of you who are representing clients or who have multiple clients and who are interested in learning more about CorpNet's partner program, again, you can get to the partner program page from our corpnet.com website, or you can check out www.corpnet.com/partners with an S at the end. That's partners, PARTNERS.
Wonderful. So lots of ways to reach out to CorpNet. We'll have that link up on our website as well, corpnet.com, to find out more. I've been speaking with Nellie Akalp. She is a passionate entrepreneur, mother of four, and she's the founder and CEO of corpnet.com, a trusted resource for business incorporation, LLC filings, and corporate compliance services in all 50 states. Find out more at www.corpnet.com. Nellie, it's been a real pleasure to have you on Rebelpreneur Radio today. Thank you so much for your wisdom and for your guidance. It's been very beneficial.
Thank you so much, Ralph, for having me. It's a pleasure being on the show.
You've been listening to Rebelpreneur Radio with Ralph Brogden. Download the show notes and much more at rebelpreneur.com.